There seems to be a bit of a common theme when I'm talking to people, when I'm talking, especially to people that end up working with me directly and become clients of mine. I mean, I see this a lot just talking to people in the community in general, but what tends to come up more often than not, over and over and over again, with so many of the amazing people I get the privilege of working with and speaking with, is this feeling of loneliness. Like they are alone in what they're going through, in their struggles, like no one understands. And part of that is actually feeling like they're a burden and they don't want to offload their issues or their challenges or their obstacles on other people because they don't want to inconvenience anybody. So what tends to happen is that you begin to live in your head a lot of the time. And when you're doing that, when you're consistently just allowing the thoughts to swirl, it becomes like a spiral or like a vortex and you can't get yourself out of it. It just brings you down and sucks you in, and that increases your feeling of isolation and loneliness because you're thinking to yourself like nobody could possibly ever understand this, no one could possibly function in this way, like no one could possibly get it. And I want to just like level set the playing field because you're most certainly not alone. No matter what challenge you're experiencing right now, no matter what you're going through, there are other people in this world that are going through the same. And that's why for me, the Facebook group that I have, and if you're not a part of it, definitely let me know and I'll send you the link. It's so important. It's so vital to the experience that other women are having because they don't want to feel like they're alone anymore. And I see it time and time again. Like, I don't want to feel alone. I want to know that there's other people out there that are going through something similar to me. So I don't feel like I'm going nuts. And that's the power of the mind sometimes because it can actually make you feel like you are completely alone and isolated. And then that thought becomes habitual and then that thought kind of continues to perpetuate and it can wreak havoc on your body and your mind and your spirit. And I want to let you know you're not alone. And I think that's one of the things that makes my client work so successful, and I see the results that my clients get time and time again over and over again, is because they finally feel like someone gets it. And I had one client say to me, I know you're my biggest cheerleader, but I also know that you're not blowing smoke up my yazoo. I know that you genuinely care. You want what is best for me. You want to see me win. You want to see me soar. When you work with me, when you become a client of mine, you aren't just a paycheck. You aren't just a number. It's so far from that for me. You become the person that I want to see rise and become empowered more so than anyone else possibly could around you. And sometimes I think it takes that kind of third party to make you feel that way because it's almost like you know your family supports you, you know they love you, but there's also like the sense like they have to. And then when you start to work with someone like myself, it's like, no, I'm worthy of this. This is actually legit. I am worthy of having amazing things. And I finally don't feel alone. I finally feel like I can say all the things that I've wanted to say for so long, that I wanted to share, that I've kept deep inside, that I haven't like told anyone because I don't want to burden them. And I can finally offload that. I can finally share it in a vulnerable way and not worry about judgment. That's another thing I find when people come to me. They're worried that I'm going to judge them or shame them for being where they're at. And nothing could be further from the truth. Where you are right now is part of your personal experience, and you have to meet yourself where you're at. And my job is to meet you right where you're at. And then we cultivate a plan together. We come up with a way to kind of sift through some of those challenges, some of those obstacles, so that you can move through them, so that you can come out on the other side and make space for yourself. Because this is all part of it as well too. Like part of one of our first orders of business is actually to make space for yourself, because typically there's like lots going on. There's like things going on here and things going on here in terms of like I have things going on with my family, I have things going on in my personal life, I have things going on in my job, and it seems so overwhelming. So we have to create and cultivate some space for you to be able to just like think, to be able to spend a minute to ask yourself, what is it that I want? But the most beautiful thing that we do together is just that. We're in it together. It's a complete and utter collaboration from the time we begin to the time we end. I am there as your humble guide. I am there as your shepherd. I am there to support you in whatever way you need. But it is truly a collaboration, and one where you just can let go of that, like I'm alone feeling, because you're not alone. I will be there with you every single step of the way. And I do it not just because you pay me, because yeah, okay, money is good and making money doing what you love is good, but I'm doing it because I am fully invested in your growth and development. I'm fully invested in watching your energy change week after week after week, and watching you stand in your power and start taking back control, and just coming to the end of it being like, wow, my life has changed. my life has completely changed. And that's why I keep doing this. And that's why I know that you're never going to need to feel alone so long as you are in my very capable hands. And if you can trust me enough to open up, and if you can trust me enough to be there for you on that journey, and more importantly, if you can trust yourself enough to know that you are going to show up and you're worthy of the investment, you will not believe what you're capable of and how much different you'll feel. I wish I could give you something tangible. I think I said that in my last video, but all I can tell you is that I've seen it time and time again, and that shift, watching women shift and watching women take back their power and be empowered in themselves and set their boundaries and know their worth, there's nothing like it. And that's what I want for you. So if that is something that is piquing your curiosity, if you're feeling like, okay, maybe I want to like talk to Denise about potentially working together, but I'm not quite sure, please send me a message. It's not, you're not signing on the dotted line, I promise. We're just having a quick chat. So yes, please reach out to me, and again, know you're not alone. I will be there every step of the way, and you are worth it. But with that, I hope you are happy, healthy, and abundant, and of course, make it a great day, make it a great day, make it a great day. It's like head banging, but like gentle, because I don't want to hurt my neck. Anyway, let's get to it.